Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be doing one of the videos that somebody suggested. So the person who suggested this was one of my officers who is the XO of the Corps and also the band officer, so thank you to Sub-Lieutenant Angela Riley for making this suggestion. So today we are going to be talking about how I joined cadets, how I kind of got into joining cadets, and my first few days, first few Wednesdays, and kind of getting used to the whole routine of cadets. So I joined cadets 4 years this year. Today, so 4 years this year. I'll be getting my 4-year service medal this year. Yeah, and so I joined cadets after Remembrance Day. It was maybe a week or two after Remembrance Day, and that's always how I remember it. One of my really close friends, Lucy Phillips, she used to go to cadets with me as well. So she started cadets before I did, the same year, but at the beginning, because her father and her brother were in cadets, so she joined. So that's how that kind of started with who kind of got me into it. And so one day I was in junior high in grade 7, and she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, do you want to join cadets with me?" And she asked me this before Remembrance Day, and I was like, maybe I'll wait till after Remembrance Day because, I'm kind of nervous, don't know what I'm doing, kind of scared, like what's going to happen and all this stuff. And so I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to like it and that I probably shouldn't join on Remembrance Day or near Remembrance Day, because then, I'm going to have to do a parade and I'm nervous, and what if I mess up, and it's kind of important. And so I joined after, and I was like, yeah, let me think about it, and then her dad was talking to my parents about how good the Corps is and how good cadets is. And my dad was in Sea Cadets. He was in 305 Sackville when he was a kid. So he was like, yeah, I think it would be a great opportunity for you to go. So, 2 or 3 Wednesdays after Remembrance Day, my friend Lucy and I, we went, I left from school with her on the bus, and I got to her house, and we chilled and hung out. And then 5:20 rolled around, and we're getting in the car, and I was so nervous. And there was 3 older boys that I didn't know. Her brother Sam, her brother's friend John, which is he's my best friend, and then Sam's friend Lucas. So I was super nervous, didn't know, I was shaking, I was scared, I was just so, nervous to go to cadets, because I was like, well, what's gonna happen, am I gonna get yelled at, and all this stuff. And then, I let everybody else go first before I went in, so that I wasn't, going first and being oh my god, there's this, at the time we were in Building 4, so, if you've seen my first ACR video, we were in Building 4. And I walked through the doors, and there's a brow. Brow is a ship's office, you're first walking onto a ship, you log in, sign in, and all this stuff. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so nervous, what's gonna happen? So I walked in, and everybody's gathered, everybody's in their uniform, they're all friends, and I was just there, with Lucy, and she was in uniform because she had already had her uniform and gotten all that stuff ready. So, and luckily for me, her dad was the storage officer, so I got a lot of my stuff quickly because he knew me. So I went into cadets, they did the traditional piping us in, fall, ship's company fall in, and all this stuff. At the time, the coxswain was Hannah Landry, and all this stuff. So I walked and I followed Lucy. Lucy's like, just follow me, don't do anything I don't do and you'll be fine. And I was like, okay. So that's what I did. I walked on, didn't march on because, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember I was wearing this like pink flannel-y shirt, button up because they wanted something nice. I wore like jeans and these like boots that I still have. They're like work boots, so I was like, yeah, they'll be fine, you know, boots are boots. And then, so we're standing there at attention, and I was scared out of my mind. I had no idea what was going on, and, you know, they called everybody to attention, and, you know, the first few nights, the first, like, night, you really, you're so confused, and you're like, what am I doing here? Like, what is this? I come to attention, and, you know, I do the little, like, foot shuffle kind of thing, and all this stuff, and then I go through my night. I don't remember what else we did that night, but I just remember being, oh yes, and when we dismissed, I was like, what is a dismiss? Do I just, like, walk off and leave? I'm like, what is a dismiss? So, I just followed what Lucy did, and I was good for the day. And then, you know, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock rolls around, and it's time to go home. And I was excited to go home and tell my parents everything that we did because I had such a fun time and such an amazing night. Like, I literally went home with a huge grin on my face because I loved Cadets so much. And I'd only had a little bit of, I only had a little taste of what Cadets was like. And now 4 years in, I could say I really enjoyed Cadets. And the thing that really helped me stay in Cadets, and I think what most people should really think about if they join Cadets, is if I join Cadets, I'm staying in for the rest of the year. And if I don't like Cadets on the first few days, and if I decide to stay, I can't decide halfway through the year that I'm done Cadets. You have to at least finish what you started and finish the year off. And maybe by the end of the year, you'll be done, and you're either going to be not going to want to come back, and you won't, or you're going to want to come back and have an amazing year, or you're going to want to go to summer camp, and then you're going to be like, oh my god, I love Cadets, and I'm going to come back for another year. You always got to stick the year out, even though if you go through some days where you don't like it, because I definitely did go through some days where I was like, oh, we have to do drill, oh, we have to do whatever, and then I really, like, you know, you just got to really get into it. And my suggestion for new people, and even older people in Cadets, like new entries to Chiefs, even, yeah, from new entries to Chiefs, this would apply to everybody. Always, like, don't go into Cadets thinking you're going to have a bad time. You always have to be really open-minded because you're going to be doing something that you're not going to want to do. Like, let's say you don't want to do drill, or you don't want to do seamanship, and that night, your phase or your group is doing seamanship or drill, and you just got to stick it out. But that's what we have to do because maybe the next day you're going to be doing sports, or you're going to be doing something that you like, and that's really what you need to look forward to. If you find those days where it's going to be like, oh, well, I have to go to Cadets, really got to pick yourself up and then think about what's going to happen. I'm going to go see my friends, I'm going to see my friends, I'm going to see my officers, I'm going to see people, I'm going to meet new people, I'm going to go have fun and do something, and I'm going to have, you know, my little canteen that's going to be there, and I get some junk food or whatever's going to happen, and get some candy. You get to walk around, you get to be out of the house for 3 hours, you know, you get to do things like that, and I think that's really important what you need to think about when you're going into Cadets. And like I said, you always need to stick out that year of Cadets when you're doing Cadets, because I think it's really important that you finish off your year and things like that. You really got to, like, if you start at the beginning of the year, you got to go right to the end of the ACR, and you got to finish your year off. Because if you don't, you're going to feel like you don't want to quit halfway through and be like, well, you know what, I don't really want to be here. It's not good because, you know, at least if you finish the year off, your core can really help you try to fix your attitude with wanting to leave Cadets and all that stuff. So, for my suggestion for people who want to quit Cadets, or people who just don't generally enjoy Cadets, or they're like being forced to go, or anything like that, just try to always think of the positive thing that you're going to do that night. maybe there's nothing positive. Maybe the only positive thing that is about going to cadets is that you're out of the house, or you're going to you're gonna have your stand easy, you're gonna have your candy, or you're gonna go see your friends. You're gonna do something like that. That's what you need to look for when you go to cadets, because I think that's really important when you're spending the night, spending your night in cadets. And always do your uniform. Like, honestly, the Corps looks so much better if everybody has a really good uniform, or at least puts an effort in to do your uniform. That's my story of joining cadets and like my first night. And when I joined, like I said, I'm 4 years strong, P2, you know, hopefully going to be getting my position next week, and that's going to be pretty awesome to know, to go from an ordinary seaman to going to a PO2 and having my own position in the Corps. It really feels amazing. And then maybe in the next 2 years from now, I'll do another video and I'll be like, look, this is my video from 2 years ago when I was a PO, and now I am a chief and I have my position and I'm all this and that. You know, it's gonna feel good. It feels good when you see your progression in cadets, even with me making this video and looking back on how much like I've done in cadets, and just talking about my first night, because I've never really done that since my first night. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please leave a like and comment down below. If you have any ideas, like I said, or go comment on my other video with ideas of cadet things that you think, cadet videos that you think I should make. And I will hopefully be doing some more of your guys' comments. So far I've only done 2, but I hopefully will be doing more as more comments come in, and as I get permission to do some of those comments. Like filming in the band, or filming at the Corps at the on a Wednesday night, just to show you guys what really happens, because I've never seen it. If I look up on cadets, I never see it. But anyways, guys, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you did enjoy this video, I hope you did. Yeah, guys, have a great night, or day, whatever time it is.